Okay, so this is probably the most excited I've ever been for doing a first impression of any foundation that I've done here on my channel. It is, as you've probably seen from the description, Tarte's Rainforest of the Sea foundation. I ended up buying this from Sephora because if you spend over £75 you get free delivery. I've never purchased anything online from Sephora before, and when I looked on the Tarte website for this foundation was £32, and then it came with a £15 delivery charge, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not paying £15 for delivery. So then I ended up then buying this as well. I don't need to explain this to you. If you are also a makeup junkie like me, you'll know this has been sold out on Beauty Bay for what seems like forever. So I just figured it would be a really good opportunity to buy the two products that I wanted to try more than anything in the world. So today I'm going to do a first impression, and I'm going to then wear it for a few weeks. However, well, weeks, days, it doesn't take me that long to form an opinion. And then I'll be back at the end of the video to tell you what I think of the foundation. I have the shade Fair Light Neutral. I heard a lot of talk about there not being a good range of shades when this first came out, and I don't know if they've released more since the initial release, but I thought the actual range of shades was quite extensive. I went for Fair Light Neutral, which I think it's definitely one of the lightest, if not like the second to the lightest. And yeah, I'm just so excited to try it. I think it was £32, but I will write here the price if I'm wrong, because I'm never right about prices. It comes in a lovely kind of frosted glass bottle, and it's got this really nice kind of purple and gold ombre lid, and it's got a, what do you call this? I have no idea. A dibber? Dabber? Dibber dabber? Don't know. Dropper, that's it. Dropper. It's a dropper. I knew it was. You can see if you press down the top, the foundation just comes on out. I'm not really sure how I feel about this, but I'm not hating on it. It's just something a bit new to me. This is meant to be a high coverage but very light feeling foundation, which that sounds perfect to me. It's meant to give you a dewy kind of radiant finish. So you know what, let's just get into this. I'm going to be applying one side of my face with a beauty blender and the other side of the face with my knockoff Zoeva buffer brush. So yeah, I'm just going to get straight into this because I'm so excited. This has been sat on my makeup table for a few days now, and I've just been waiting for the perfect moment to be able to do my review. So I think, by the way, I'm not feeling very well today. I actually feel like I'm swallowing shards of glass, so I'm sorry if I'm not my usual self. But anyway, I hope this shade, by the way, you can see I've got a little bit of a breakout going on right now. But, you know, there's bigger problems going on in the world, so it's fine. And I'm trying out the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea water foundation, so I can't be sad about anything. Okay, so I'm hoping that this shade is going to be good for me. I have no idea how much should I be applying here. No idea. Should I be going like this? Oh, we'll begin with the beauty blender. This is looking more kind of warm toned than I expected, because it does say it's Fair Light Neutral, but it is looking slightly kind of yellow based. Okay. Now I have no idea how much of this I needed to apply, and you can still see there the old imposters on the face. You know, when I touch my neck there, it really hurts because my glands are swollen. Okay, so I don't know. I thought I actually applied quite a lot to my face there, but it doesn't seem to have given me like a very high coverage, I wouldn't say. Like, you can still see those little imposters, but I mean, it's gone on. It's on. It's on. And if you kind of compare both sides, you know, you could definitely see that it's made my skin look very nice. Okay, well, that was quick. I mean, that was super duper quick. That was very quick compared to a lot of other foundations I apply. Let's go in. The Ocado van has just turned up outside. I love Ocado. Well, it's Waitrose really, isn't it? Whenever I'm feeling a little bit kind of like I'm in with the money, I love a good Waitrose shop. Otherwise, I'm just Tesco. Oh, I've got it on the top. Look, can you see? Okay, so maybe the dibber dabber isn't the most practical of tools. I don't know why I'm finding this such a difficult task. It's funny, you know, when it first goes on, it fair light neutral actually looks quite dark. Look how that's like a Picasso effort, isn't it, there on the old face? So let's go in with the buffer blush. Right, blush? No, Anwen. See, I'm not working today. I'm just not working right. Okay, let's go for it. I wonder if we're going to get a fuller coverage. By the way, if you've not seen any of my first impression videos before, I'll always do this first impression so that we can experience the first application together, and then I'll go away and wear the foundation for however long I need to be able to form a good opinion of it for you. Just in case you're wondering, that's what I'll be doing. I mean, it's gone on really nicely with the brush as well. Usually when I do the half and half brush beauty blender, completely forgot what it was then, I always feel it's quite obvious which tool applies the foundation better. But with this, I mean, I'm a fan of both the brush and the beauty blender. I think they both applied the foundation really, really nicely. I'd say it may be a little tiny bit more patchy just on this side, but not like it's nothing completely noticeable. I'm going to go in on the old forehead because I know some of you are saying, Anwen, you've not done the old forehead. I'm on it, don't worry. And I'm going to use the beauty blender because I just feel like the beauty blender was a tiny bit quicker to apply the foundation. You know what, so far I'm going to just say I'm not completely blown away. I mean, it applies like a dream. It just goes on super, super easy. And the shade, I mean, the shade seems to be working for me, which is great. And it's actually not as kind of dewy as I expected. I thought it was going to be slightly more dewy. It definitely does have that radiance to it, like when the light catches my face, it kind of does bounce off it. You know, it's not matte. Okay, so I think we're going to just see if we can build the foundation up a bit just to get a little bit more coverage over this breakout here. Go in and dab with the old beauty blender. I mean, I wouldn't describe this as being full coverage, like by any stretch of the imagination. The reason why I was so excited to try this foundation, could I say foundation any more times? But I'd seen such thrilling reviews on it. Like, I was in the market to buy a stunning foundation, and I did my research, and this seemed to be the one that unanimously everybody seemed to really love. So that's why, you know, I was so excited. And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm disappointed, but like my expectations were very high. It's just not, I don't know, it's just not blown me away at this point. It's nice, but right now not blowing me away. I don't know if it's just because you know, my expectations were so high. I was expecting the foundation to perform the Macarena dance or something on my face. I don't know, but I don't feel like it's 100% set. Like, it almost feels quite sticky, and it's been on for a couple of minutes now because I had to go away and I had to go to the toilet is what I had to do. I needed the toilet. When you need to go, you need to go. So, you know, it's been on for a few minutes. Yeah, I mean, it's not really done anything in terms of, I want to say it's hidden my pores. It's not accentuated them, but it's not hidden them. I'd say the shade is a really good match for me. Yeah, and in terms of covering up this area here, I mean, it's not high coverage, is it? Let's be real here. This is not high coverage. I feel like the shade is good for me. I would still have to maybe take it down a bit more on my neck. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I look 10 times better than I did when I started the video. Let's be real here. Okay, so I've done the rest of my makeup now. I just wanted to come back here and show you what it all looked like. I just finished off, did my mascara, highlight, etc. I must say, the longer it's been on my face, the more I'm liking it. It does feel extremely lightweight, which is great. I put on the rest of my makeup and mascara. I just seem to be, I don't know, it seems to have settled into my face and I'm really liking it. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how this goes. I didn't mention it, but I have oily skin. I also do struggle with pores, showing. So I'm always looking for a foundation that will control my oily skin and hide my pores. All things I'm going to be looking out for when I'm testing the foundation, as well as I'll be looking to see if it oxidizes, because all foundations oxidize on me like a bad boy. It's crazy and it's so infuriating. So far so good with this one. It doesn't seem to have changed colour, which well done you, Tarte. You'll be seeing me hopefully feeling a lot better, not with this frog in my throat. You'll be seeing me soon with an update. Okay, thanks for, why am I saying thanks for watching at this point, because I'll be saying it at the end anyway. Okay, bye. So it's now a week later and I've worn the foundation almost every day since doing the first impression, and I must say I really do like it. I think because it had been so hyped up and I had such high expectations, I think when I first applied it, as you saw in the first impression, I was kind of expecting like to apply it and then to have, you know, butterflies like flying off my face, little unicorns ice skating all over my face. I mean, I was expecting a lot from this foundation. It's one that as I've been wearing it, I've just seen the positives and its strengths, and I've just kind of loved it kind of more and more and more as the week's gone on. It's super comfortable on the skin. It doesn't feel in any way heavy, sticky, mask-like. I do find that it does take almost an hour to set sometimes, but once it sets in place, that's it. There's no moving it. If you've got oily skin, I think you're really going to like it, because it definitely does control my oils. Like, I do powder, but I have tested it where I've not powdered and I've still not got oily. And one big test for me is, does the foundation stay on my chin and on the side of my face throughout the day? Because when I'm at work, I tend to kind of lean like this on my desk a lot and I'm constantly touching my face. I just don't know why. I think possibly it's just like me trying to kind of keep myself awake when I'm staring at spreadsheets. So I'm just like, Amwin, stay awake, seriously, stay awake. But anyway, so I find a lot of foundations will just rub off on my chin. This one doesn't do that. Even on the day where I didn't powder, it just stayed put on my chin, which was amazing. Also, the finish of the foundation is kind of unlike any other that I've worn. It's a full coverage, but it's not cakey in any way. So it gives you a really natural finish. I am wearing it today. And do you see what I mean? Like, it's not cakey. It just looks really, really natural. It claims to be a full coverage, but it's a buildable full coverage. I don't know if it does actually say buildable full coverage, but it's not full coverage. Like, if you just apply like a reasonable amount of it, it's definitely not full coverage. You saw that in the first impression. You could clearly still see my spots through the foundation, which you still kind of can. Find that you do need to apply a lot more than you would think in order to make it full coverage. I feel like you're probably going to be going through this foundation quite quickly because of that fact. If you don't apply a lot of it, then it's just going to be like a medium coverage. Good thing is, if you do apply a lot of it, it does not go cakey. I struggle with foundations looking cakey on my chin. My chin is just a problem zone, just in itself. But I find foundations go cakey in the middle of my eyebrows. This one doesn't do that. I mean, it's just, I've got little notes here. Let me check my notes. I have applied it with a brush and with just a flat top kabuki brush. Is that the name? I don't know. I'm trying to be professional. Yeah, just a flat top kabuki brush. And I like it. I find that you do get a lot more coverage that way. However, I feel like the Beauty Blender is really the tool of choice with this particular foundation. I know a lot of people may say, because it's a water-based foundation, you should be using a brush with it. But I say, I say no. I say the Beauty Blender works great with this foundation. It just seems to give me the most flawless, smooth, perfected look, whereas the brush, I don't know, it just looks a bit heavier, I would say, with a brush. Another thing that I adore about this foundation is that it's one of the only foundations that does not oxidize on my skin. I think every single foundation I've ever used will oxidize on my skin. And you know what I mean by oxidization? When you apply foundation and it looks great, and then as the day goes on, it kind of deepens up and sometimes turns like an orangey, warmer shade. I get that with every single foundation. One doesn't do it, which is amazing. I think the shade looks perfect on me. Say if you're like me, fairly fair, at the fairer end of the scale, and you tend to go for like the vanilla shades, if you've got neutral undertones, I think that, what was it, fair light neutral would be a really good match for you. I know it's really struggle picking out your shade if you're purchasing. It's difficult anyway, even if you're not purchasing online. Even if you've got all the foundations there, it's incredibly difficult picking out your shade. But it's especially difficult if you're on a website and you've only got like little swatches to look at. The thing that I really don't like about this foundation is the little dropper thing. I just think it's really annoying, actually. I'll get the foundation out and then I'll kind of drop it onto my face, and then it starts its journey down to my chin, which is fine. Don't mind it doing its thing. But the problem I have with it is that, you know, when like you're in the middle of doing all your makeup, your hands can be a bit kind of slimy and stuff. Is that just me? I don't know. Awkward, like holding onto this and then trying to press the dropper. This is such first world problems on my channel. By the way, I don't know if you watch him, but I'm a huge fan of Charles Gross here on YouTube. He's hilarious, but I can only watch his channel like suspending reality because I love him so much. So this is no shade whatsoever at him, but everything is like a first world problem, like seriously, which I love. I love watching his channel because it, you know, it's a distraction from the real problems that are going on in life. But if you watch Charles Gross, he's hilariously funny, by the way. Anyway, so back to this. Yeah, I just feel like the dropper isn't my favourite. I'd rather it just had like a doe foot on there where you could just like, you know, go doe footing crazy and get the foundation on that way. I just feel like that would be a lot easier, really. This is the first Tarte product that I've ever used, and I like it, so I would definitely recommend it. Or if you have aging skin, so if you struggle with fine lines, if you struggle with open pores, or just any kind of texture on your skin, I would really recommend this foundation to you. It definitely does seem to smooth out my fine lines. I just think it makes my skin look really youthful. Doesn't accentuate any of my pores, which is excellent. One thing I will say, if you've got dry skin, I don't know that I would feel very confident to recommend the foundation to you, because I do think it's more for oily or normal skin types. There have been a couple of days where it has looked slightly dry on my skin, not to the point that I've been like freaked out and like I'm never wearing this foundation again, but it's something to mention that I feel like if you do have dry patches, this may not complement your skin. I don't know, but just throwing that out there. This is probably the last video that I'm going to be putting up before Christmas. I'm hopefully getting this up on Christmas Eve. If you're watching this on Christmas Eve and I've managed to do that, go me. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I hope you all have such a wonderful Christmas. Whatever you're doing, I hope your families have a great time. It's so exciting. And for me, Christmas is amazing and it's fun and I love the present aspect of it, but most of all, I just think having that quality time with your family is the most precious thing ever in the world. Thank you so much for a wonderful... I don't know why I'm doing a speech now. Anyway, it's like an Oscar speech. Thank you for everyone, and thank you, Postman, for delivering all my presents. Thank you to work for letting me have the day off today. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate all the lovely comments that you all leave for me down below. It just makes me so happy when I read your comments. So thank you so much, everyone, for all the support and encouragement. I'm really happy that you find my videos useful or that you just enjoy them, and yeah, I'll be back soon with more. Bye bye.